Live. Hello everyone, you are welcome to GPAD Learn Maths. We have another lesson again. This is the second lesson on the topic trigonometry. So in the last lesson, we talked about the trigonometric ratios, where we talked about special angles, trigonometric ratios. We also looked at the sine, cos, tan of those special angles, like 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and 60 degrees. So if you can see the board, what we have here is trigonometric ratios of angles between 0 and 360 degrees. Now, the special angles we looked at the other time, the special angles were just 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and 60 degrees. But what we have here is angles between 0 degrees and 360 degrees. We're not just going to be talking about acute angles now, but reflex angles, obtuse angles, okay? Okay, now there are some things you need to know when we talk about the trigonometric ratios of angles between 0 degrees and 360 degrees. There are some things you have to know. There are some things you have to know. Excuse me. There's something called the reference angle. Let me draw the 4 cardinal points. Let me draw this. And if you are just joining us, you are all welcome. Okay, 21 of you are all welcome. Please, only one person has liked the live. What's happening? Let us like the live. Thank you. Let's like the live. And if you have not shared this live, please, let's get the link and share the link with your friends, your family, everyone around you. Okay, so I was just talking about how to get reference angle. See, reference angles are angles that are between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. Let me say it again. Reference angles are angles between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. If you want to get the trig ratios of angles, let's say you want to get sine of maybe 290 degrees or whatever it is, you must get the reference angle. The reference angle is an acute angle. Remember, the angle we are looking at now is between 0 degrees and 360 degrees. We're not just going to be talking about acute angles like 45 degrees. These are special angles, by the way, like 60 degrees. We'll be talking about angles that are more than 90 degrees. Okay, obtuse angles and reflex angles. So you must know how to get the reference angle. And I'm going to show you in this video. So let's take an example. For instance, if you are with me, please let's like the live. Well, 97 of you are all welcome. If you're with me, let's like the live. We want to talk about reference angles. So if I have, say, 98 degrees, this angle is more than 90 degrees. So if you want to get the reference angle, see, when I say reference angle, it's an angle between the x-axis and the terminal line. I'll tell you what I mean. So I have just drawn the 4 cardinal points, okay? If you want to draw your angle, you start from the positive x-axis, all right? And you go anti-clockwise. This is clockwise, right? But this is anti-clockwise. So you start from the positive x-axis and you go anti-clockwise. Let me say that again. If you want to know where the angle, because don't worry, we'll be talking about first quadrant, second quadrant, we'll be talking about that. but I just want to explain what reference angles are. So we'll start from the positive x-axis and we'll go anti-clockwise. 98 degrees from here to here is 90 degrees. This is a quadrant. Quadrant. That's a quarter, okay, of this plane. We have 90 here, 90. We have 4 quadrants. This is the first quadrant where you have the positive x-axis here, the first quadrant. You have the positive x-axis and you have the positive y-axis. First quadrant here. This is the second quadrant. This is the third quadrant. And this is what? Fourth quadrant. So we have 4 quadrants. You want to get 90 degrees, for instance, you start from the positive x-axis. Like I said, you go anti-clockwise. So we go like this. You stop somewhere here. This angle lies in the second quadrant. It's more than 90 degrees. It lies in the second quadrant. So from here, you are going to, from this origin, from the center, you draw something called a terminal line. Okay? A terminal line. So I'm going to draw the line. Let me just get an instance. So you draw the line, you go like this. So this line is called a terminal side. This is called a terminal side. Terminal. So these are the terms I'll be using. If I say the terminal side, it is the line or the side that terminates the angle. Where did the angle start from? The positive x-axis, and we went anti-clockwise. So this line is called the terminating side, and it terminates the angle. It stops the angle at the required position. So what we have here is that this angle here lies in the second quadrant. It is not in the first quadrant. First quadrant, you have acute angles, okay, between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. But when it goes beyond 90, you are not going to the second quadrant. And for the second quadrant, it lies between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. Okay, now I was just trying to tell you what, see, don't worry, I don't want to rush this, okay? I do not want to rush this. I want to explain some things because I'll be using some of these terminologies as we progress in this lesson. So I've talked about terminal side now. I want to talk about the reference angle. Reference angle. What is a reference angle? What's a reference angle? It is the angle between the x-axis and the terminal side. Let me say it again. A reference angle is the angle between the x-axis, either positive or negative, it doesn't matter, between the x-axis and the terminal side. This is the terminal side. That's that line that terminates the angle. Does that make sense? Okay, if you understood what I'm doing so far, somebody say, type 1 in the comment. If this is clear, Chukwemeka, you are welcome. Razu, you are welcome. Eric, you are welcome. Helena, you are welcome. Helena, were you the one that reached out to me on WhatsApp? It seems you were the one. You are welcome. If you understood what I've done so far, type 1 in the comments. Please, let's like the live. You're all welcome to this broadcast. We are talking about trigonometry. If you are just joining us, this is the second lesson we're having on trigonometry. And we are talking about angles that are between 0 degrees and 360 degrees. Okay, now, I said I was going to talk about reference angle. What is a reference angle? It is between the x-axis and the terminal side. So if you want to get the reference angle of 98 degrees, it's from here. This is x-axis, right? Positive x. This is what? Negative x. When I extend it, this is negative x-axis, right? So from here, from the x-axis, you go like this. What do we have now? This is the reference angle to 98 degrees. So how are we going to get that reference angle? It is what? Remember, the sum of angles on a straight line is what? 180 degrees. So if from this positive x to the terminal side is 98 degrees, what do you think this reference angle would be? You will simply say it is what? Who can tell me what is going to be this reference angle? If you know it, type it in the comments. Thank you, bro Peter. Thank you so much. Yes, what's going to be the reference angle? Who knows it? What's going to be the reference angle? I'm waiting. 82 degrees. Okay, yes. And how did you get that? You simply do 180 degrees minus what? 98 degrees, which is what? 180 degrees minus 98 degrees. And that will give you what? 80. That will give you what? 82 degrees. Okay. So 82 degrees is the reference angle to this 98 degrees. Now, let me just, that is what a reference angle, a reference, see here, a reference angle. Please don't get confused with this. It is what we need to get to be able to get the trig ratios of those angles. We must convert it to an acute angle, and from there get either the sine, the cos, or the tan, because it will now become a special angle under this case. Okay, so let me take this off. At least I've explained some terms. If so far what I've done is okay, make sure you drop a comment. So we've talked about the quadrant. I want to take this off. All right, I want to take this off and then explain some other things. So I've talked about reference angle. I say it's the angle between the x-axis and the terminal side. This is the terminal side. Okay, that's what it is. So for the first quadrant, your angle is always same as your reference angle. I'm using this REF. This is the reference angle. Is the same as the angle, because this angle is always between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. But what about if you are in the second quadrant? If you are in the second quadrant, I need to take this off. If you are in the second quadrant, to get the reference angle, this is the first quadrant, right? To get the reference angle for the second quadrant is going to be what? 180 degrees minus what? 180 degrees minus the angle in the second quadrant. That's how you get the reference angle in the second quadrant. If you are with me, type yes in the comment. If this is clear, type yes in the comment. Thank you, Kunal. Thank you, Grace. Okay, thank you, Mike. Onfondo, thank you. So we have talked about first and second quadrant. For the first quadrant, is the same thing. 70 degrees is in the first quadrant, between 0 and 90 degrees. 40 degrees is the first quadrant. But when you now come to the second quadrant, if it goes beyond 90 degrees, you are landing in the second quadrant. And for you to get the reference angle, subtract it from you now simply do 180 degrees minus that angle, as we have here. But what about the third quadrant? Who can tell me what's the formula for getting the reference angle in the third quadrant? Who can tell me how do we get the reference angle from the angle in the third quadrant? Who can tell me? Now I'm going to explain this because some people always get confused. See, the reference angle in the third quadrant is going to be what? The angle in the third quadrant minus 180 degrees. But is it not supposed to be 270? No, it is not. This is the formula for getting the reference angle in the third quadrant. It is the angle that is in the third quadrant minus 180 degrees. That will help you to get the reference angle from the angle in the third quadrant. I'm going to explain this one especially because many students always get confused when they come to the third quadrant. See, let's pick an angle, for instance. Let's say 250 degrees. 250 degrees. Which quadrant does it lie? It's not here. It doesn't lie here because from here to here is what? Let me use a blue. From here to here is what? 90. Is that not? Okay. And then thank you, Muhammadi. When you extend it from here to here is what? 180. You see? It's still not up to 250 degrees. So we now extend it. It's going to lie in the third quadrant. So we go like this. We go like this. And we stop somewhere here. All right? This is where it is lying. It's lying in the third quadrant. Okay? I'm now going to draw my terminal side, like I explained before, my terminal side. So from this origin here, I just draw the angle. I go like this. All right? So what I have here, this is the terminal side. For those who are just joining us, terminal side. And This is 250 degrees. And I told you that the reference angle is between the x-axis is the angle between the x-axis and the terminal side. All right, the terminal side. Okay, so where is that? This is not the angle where, this is not the reference angle because it's not between, see, if you cannot tell me that this is the reference angle, it's not. Because what you have here is between the terminal side and the y-axis. So this is not the reference angle. Does that make sense? So where is the reference angle? It is this one here. This is the reference angle. Let me clean this and explain this better. So see, this angle here is the reference angle, okay? This is the reference angle, right? So that is it. Now, if that's the reference angle, and I need to get this reference angle, what do I do? If from here to here is 250 degrees, how do we now get this one here? You will simply take away 80 degrees from 250 to get the reference angle. Let me say it again. This is what we need to get, right? This is what we need to get. How do we get that angle? You will simply take away 80 because this angle is on a straight line. So you are taking it out of the complete angle that is in the third quadrant. So which means it's going to be what? The angle in the third quadrant, or I'm going to say the reference angle is going to be what? The angle in the third quadrant minus what? 180 degrees. That's what you do. So how do I now get the reference angle? If the angle is 250 degrees, the reference angle is going to be what? 250 degrees minus what? 180 degrees. And that will give you what? 70 degrees. So this 70 degrees is the angle this is the reference angle from the angle in the third quadrant. If this is clear, type yes in the comment. Please, let's like the live. If this is clear, please type yes in the comment. $250 minus 70 is what? Dilkesh, why did you say I'm wrong? Where's the wrong thing here? What's the wrong thing here? You can't just say I'm wrong and you cannot point out what is wrong. That is very immature. If you say I'm wrong, you simplify. Before you will say I'm wrong, you should have even told me what is it that I'm wrong with. You can't just say I'm wrong. I'm wrong with what? What are you saying exactly? Don't be a child. Okay. So I think we're in order. I'm going to explain how to get the what? Reference angle from the angle in the third quadrant. Now, I'm going to ask all of you, how do we now get the angle? Please, I need to take all of this off. Okay? Let me take this off and let's demonstrate it on the fourth quadrant. Taking it off. Yeah. Okay, beautiful. So let's get the reference angle for, let's say, 300 degrees. How do we get the reference angle from 300 degrees? I'm going to draw my four cardinal points. And like I told you, you start drawing from the positive x-axis. We want to get where it's going to land. This from it here is what? 90. We are trying to get to 300 degrees. So from it here is what? 180, right? It's still not up to that. We keep going. From it here is 270, still not up to. And then we find ourselves at this point. Okay? So what am I going to do? I am going to extend from here. Let's have this. Who can tell me, even without me solving this, what's going to be the reference angle? What's going to be the reference angle? What's going to be the reference angle? See, like I told you, the reference angle is between the angle in the between the x-axis and the terminal side. So this is going to be it, right? This one here. Yes. And how do we get this? It's going to be what? 360 degrees minus what? Theta. So the reference angle, or let me just, the reference angle will be equal to what? 360 degrees minus, this is what we are looking at, 300 degrees, which is what? 60 degrees, okay? So this is the reference angle. It lies in the fourth quadrant, and this is the formula that you can use to get the reference angle when the angle lies in the fourth quadrant. This is the fourth quadrant. If you have any question, ask before we move on. No, I was the one that just brought out the 300 degrees. I was the one that did that. Yes, of course, of course. How close they are to the x-axis. Exactly, exactly. That's true. Okay, somebody said, what's the purpose of solving the reference angle? Okay, it's going to be helpful if you are converting it from, because say for instance, now you want to get, we will get the, by the way, you want to get tan 300 degrees, and you're asked to do this without using a calculator. So you have to, like I said, we will talk about this, we will talk about the sine, cos, tan when we look at the various quadrants. So you cannot just find tan 300 degrees. We can get a special angle from this. And like we said here, see, the formula is what? 360 degrees minus the angle that is in the fourth quadrant, right? So here you do, but you need to know if tan is negative or positive in the fourth quadrant. So somebody said I'm wrong. I've not started talking about tan, cos, or sine, okay? I've not started talking about that. We will talk about that when we look at negative angles. So if I have any question, ask. I just told you, we will talk about that. It's for you to reduce the angle to an acute angle. I don't want to start asking, oh, is tan positive, because we've not discussed this yet. But for the person that asks, what is the use of having a reference angle, is to reduce it to an acute angle. From 360 degrees, it became what? 60 degrees. This one is an acute angle, and you can find tan 60. 60 degrees is a special angle, right? You can find tan 60, but tan is negative here. So we will talk about that shortly. If you have any other question, ask. If there's any other question, ask. Yes, of course. Thank you, Hasibu. Tan is negative in the fourth quadrant. Yes. Any question? Any question? Any question? So I want us to talk about negative angles. Let's talk about negative angles. We're not going to rush this thing at all. I'm not going to rush it at all. Let's talk about negative angles. And then we need to know how to get the reference angle when the angle is a negative angle, okay? So let me write this question down. How to find the reference angle. How do we find the angle? For example, let's say we have minus 150 degrees. How do we find the reference angle? Now, there are two ways, there are different ways you can do this. You can show it graphically by having a sketch drawn, okay, or you can just add, okay, wait, first of all, let's sketch it out. Let's sketch this out, okay? This is 150 degrees. We want to find the reference angle. So I'm going to draw my four cardinal points again. You know, I told you that if you are getting the angle, You start from the x-axis, but you go anti-clockwise. But this is negative. You do the opposite of that. So you won't go anti-clockwise, you go what? Clockwise, because it is what? Negative 150 degrees. Do you understand? It is what? Negative 150 degrees. Exactly. Okay, so if you want to get this angle sketched out, I'm going to start from here, from the positive x-axis, but I will go clockwise, not anti-clockwise. So we go like this. But this is minus 150 degrees. From it to here is what? 90. So we extend it again. We're trying to get to negative 150 degrees. So we go and we stop right here, somewhere here, okay? Then we have this. So this lands in the where? Third quadrant. This is the first quadrant. First, this is the second, this is the third, and this is the fourth quadrant. We have 4 quadrants here. Okay, very good. Okay, thank you for that. Well, so just give me the angle. Don't talk about root 3 because we've not started talking about tan, cos, and sine. Not yet. Some people, we need to understand this very well. So we are here now. This is the what? Third quadrant. Okay, who can tell me what is this really? Who can tell me? I'm trying to explain. Wait, what is this angle? What's the size of this angle? Or maybe I should just extend it from here. What's the size of that angle? Who knows it? 30 degrees. Okay. Yes, that's true. Because from here to here is what? Is 150. And if you want to get to here, you add 30 to 150, giving you the angle on a straight line. So this one is a straight line. This is supposed to be 180. But this is now what? 30 degrees. All right? Is that okay? So if that is 30 degrees, but listen up. How do we now get the reference angle? And that's the reference angle. Yes, we have just gotten the reference angle. It is what? 30 degrees. I've just shown you how to do it on a graph like this when you sketch it out. This is the reference angle. It's between the x-axis and the terminal side. Is that clear? What's your question? Yes, that's one way. So this is how you get your reference angle. I told you there are different ways. I'm going to show you another way of getting your reference angle. Remember, we're trying to get the reference angle of what? Negative 150 degrees. To do so, we add 360 degrees or the multiples of that, or the multiples of 360 degrees to convert it from a negative angle to a positive angle. Let me say it again. You need to convert it first from a negative angle to a positive angle. Then from there, you will now get the reference angle. Let me say it again. This is a negative angle, right? If you want to get the reference angle, you must convert it first to a positive angle and then get the reference angle from it. And how do you do that? You simply add 360 degrees to the angle or the multiples. Maybe 360 degrees. What's the next multiple of that? 720 degrees, just to make sure that you don't have a negative angle. Everything is actually rounding or revolving around a point where you have 360 degrees. You start again and you go like that. So we need to get that done, okay? And it's called the co-terminal angle. But I don't want to go into much details yet. So to do this, I'm going to add 360 degrees. This 360 degrees will help us to convert it to what? A positive angle. So when you add 360 to 1 minus 150 degrees, what will that be? Who can tell me? What is that going to be? What is that going to be? That's going to be 210 degrees, right? Okay. Okay, but see, this 210 degrees, this 210 degrees lies in the third quadrant, right? And the formula for getting the reference angle in the third quadrant is that angle minus 180 degrees. So the formula here to get, let's just assume that we don't have this at all. Let me take this off. Let's assume that we don't have that at all, and I decide to draw my four cardinal point, okay? And I've just gotten the positive angle, which is 210 degrees. What I did was to add 360 degrees to convert it from a negative angle to a positive angle. So again, like I told you, we start from the positive x-axis, and then we go like this. We are trying to get to what? 310 degrees. Not first, not second, but the third quadrant. So we stop right here. This is where we have. So we have this. Okay? And how do we get the reference angle? We simply subtract 180 degrees, because see, this is 180 degrees. So if we are trying to get this reference angle, we'll simply do 180 degrees minus what? Theta, which represents the angle in the third quadrant. So it's going to be what? 180 degrees, which is the reference angle, minus what? Sorry, not that, sorry. It's going to be theta minus 180 degrees. So you have 210 degrees minus 180 degrees, and that's what? 30 degrees. So can you see that we got the same result when we sketched it out using the clockwise movement from the positive x-axis, right? We got the same result. So anyhow you want to do it is fine. Just make sure this one first, we added 360 degrees to get, see, this 210 degrees is the co-terminal angle. Is the co-terminal angle. See, if from here to here, this angle, the one I use black to indicate now, and the one I use red, they are called co-terminal angle. You see this one with red, it starts from the positive x-axis, went what? Anti-clockwise, and stopped at the terminal side. This is the terminal side. But this one starts again from the positive x-axis and also stopped at the terminal side. So these two angles, this black one and the red one, they are called co-terminal angles. All right? They are called co-terminal angles. Are you getting value from this? Yeah. Thank you. Mohammed, thank you for your feedback. Thank you. So minus 150 degrees. Yes. Thank you for that question, Count. You simply add 360 degrees. It's like going clockwise and going anti-clockwise and going clockwise. You see where it's going? They both land at the same quadrant. You see, from here we moved and we stopped here. From here we moved here and we stopped here. So they are the same. Literally, they are called co-terminal angles. Co-terminal angles, because what is between them is the terminal side that stops the angle coming from the positive x-axis. Does that make sense? Are you with me? Are you getting value from this? If you are, please let's like the live and let's have more people to join us in this live. So I have talked about how to get your, see, if you hear reference angle, you know what that is. If you hear terminal side, you know what that is, okay? Before we start talking about that sign is negative or positive on which quadrant, let's lay this solid foundation first. Can we move on? Any question? Any question? Exactly, you add 360. It's either you add 360 degrees or the multiples of 360 degrees, because there are some angles that will be more. See, if you have, let's say you have negative 420 degrees and you want to convert this to a positive angle. When you add 360 degrees, you are still going to get a negative angle, because this one, 420 is bigger than 360. It will produce a negative angle. So you add another 360 degrees, which is the next multiple of that. It will now give you a positive angle. And from there, you can get the reference angle. Okay? Thank you, Dash, for the feedback. Thank you so much. Okay, now everybody, let me give you something to do before we now talk about, I don't know which I know it as cast. Okay, I know it as cast. Some people have different way of determining which trig ratio lies. Thank you. Thank you, Peters. Thank you, Abubakar. Thank you so much. Yeah, so that's it. That's it. Now, everybody, do this for me. I want you all to find the reference angle of, this is going to be the last one before we move on to the next thing here. Everybody find the reference angle of negative 240 degrees. Thank you, Chukwemeka. Yeah, thank you, Masango. How often do you stream? Okay. Well, see, okay, I think this is the time where I now talk about my group class. I don't even know what to say. It's supposed to be Thursdays, all right, Fridays and Saturdays. But my schedule these days have been a little bit unstable. But tomorrow I'll be coming live as well, 9 p.m. tomorrow. But if you want to get up, if you want to know exactly when I'll be coming live, it's good you join my community on WhatsApp, on Telegram. Where are you going to get it? There's a link on my bio. Go there, click it. It will redirect you to where I have my different classes. It's either you join the WhatsApp community or you join the Telegram community. While that is happening, everybody, can we get the reference angle of negative 240 degrees? Please don't just give me a positive angle. You must give me a reference angle. A reference angle is between the terminal side and the x-axis, and is always less than 90 degrees. It's between 0 and 90 degrees, okay? Somebody said 120 degrees. Convert it now. Can you get the reference? What you just got now is the positive angle, is the co-terminal angle. Can you now get the reference angle? Can you do that? Helena, can you get it's a good thing you said 120 degrees, but that is not a reference angle yet, okay? So for most of you, what you did was, you added 360 degrees. Was that what you did? Yes, you got 120 degrees. But you need to get the reference angle. Which quadrant does this lie? Is it the first? Of course, not the first, because for the first is between 0 and 90 degrees. So it's now going to the second quadrant, okay? You go to the second quadrant. And the formula for getting the reference angle in the second quadrant is what? Who can tell me? Is what? 180 degrees. So the reference angle will be what? 180 degrees minus what? This angle minus 120 degrees, which is what? 60 degrees. So this is the reference angle. When I say reference angle, it's just the angle between the x-axis and the terminal side, or how far the angle is from the x-axis. How far the angle is from the x-axis to the terminal side. Hope that makes sense. Okay, it's good. Yeah, co-terminal side. Yes. Exactly. The co-terminal angle is 120 degrees. Makes sense. This is the co-terminal angle. But to get the reference angle, you then subtract, because the formula, if you are in the second quadrant, this is the formula, is what? 180 degrees minus what? Theta for the second quadrant. It is what? 180 degrees minus what? Theta. Theta is the angle, which is what? 120 degrees. You take that away from 180 degrees, it gives you the reference angle from the angle in the second quadrant. Any question? We have to move on. Guys, we got to move on. We got to move on. Any question? Please, if you are just joining us and you want to, I know some of these terms might be kind of strange, maybe because they skipped these keywords, but I like to make you understand what these keywords are, because if they talk about reference angle, you should know what that is. If they talk about terminal side, you should know what that is before we will start talking about which trig function is positive in which quadrant. You must understand how to get the reference angle, and everything just builds on that and becomes very easy. Are we together? Is that clear? Can you speak in Hindi? Oh, sorry, I do not speak Hindi. Sorry about that. Or maybe I don't think I should be sorry, but I don't speak Hindi. Okay. Now, how many of you know this? Listen, how many of you know this? I like this. How many of you know this? You might know it another way, but this is how many of you have seen it before? Cast. Do you know what this is? Jaco said that I should not be sorry. Okay. How many of you know this? Do you know what cast is? Do you know what cast? So the value of tan will be by 60. And yeah, see, we will talk about that when I'm getting, see, I'm now there. I'm here where we'll now start talking about which trig function is positive or negative in which quadrant, okay? Yeah. Are you with me? So if you don't know what cast is? You don't know what cast is? Okay, somebody said ASTC. ASTC, okay. Yeah. You can also say ASTC. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. So let's draw our four cardinal points again, all right? You see what we have? So this is the first quadrant. Can I just say first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and the what? Fourth quadrant. So see this. I just wrote cast the other time, and this is CAST. Or you can say, like somebody said, ASTC. This A stands for all the trig functions are positive in the first quadrant. All are positive. Sine, cos, and tan are all what? Positive in the first quadrant. Are you with me? Yes, all of them are positive. Then what about this S? S stands for what? Sine. So here, sine is what? Negative, is positive. The others are negative. So sine is positive, but cos is negative, and tan is also what? Negative. What about the third quadrant? Only tan is what? Positive. Sine here is negative, cos is negative in the third quadrant. What about the fourth quadrant? Cos is what? Positive, but sine is negative, and what? Cos and the tan and sine are both negative in the fourth quadrant. So yeah, either you say ASTC, like somebody said, ASTC, the first one, all of them are positive. Okay, all the trig ratios are positive. The second quadrant, this is the first, second, third, and fourth. For the second one, only sine is positive. For the third, only tan. And for the fourth quadrant, only what? Cos. Yeah? Yes. Yes, thank you. Yes. Exactly. Yes, that's true. Tangent, yes. Can we move on? Any question? Any question? Any question? If you do have a question, do ask me now. If you do have a question, please ask me. Can you ask me? Can I think I can take this off. Please do not forget ASTC, or you can just say cast. But cast, C is in the fourth. You go like this. But I think I like ASTC. ASTC. A all, S sine, T tan, and C cos. Okay. Now we need to solve some questions. Okay. Are you ready for some interesting questions? So some examples here. Some examples. Number one, if sine theta is equal to cos theta, find theta between. So theta is just the Greek symbol for representing the angle between 0 degrees and 360 degrees. Okay, if sine theta is equal to cos theta, find theta between 0 degrees and 360 degrees. Can we do this together? Okay, let's move on. So solution. Now you can do this again in different ways. The point where sine theta and cos theta are equal is actually 45 degrees, because sine 45 is what? Root 2 over 2. And cos 45 is root 2 over 2. But I want to do it another way. Okay, let's do it another way. So if sine theta is equal to cos theta, what if I want to, I want us to divide both sides by this cos theta. So we'll get a numerical value on the right-hand side, a number on the right-hand side. So I'm going to divide both sides by cos theta. Okay, I'll divide both sides by cos theta. So divide this by cos theta and divide this by cos theta. So if you divide this by this, you get 1, right? And then you have sine theta over what? Cos theta. But tan theta is equal to sine theta over cos theta. So it means that this right here is what? Tan theta. And it's equal to what? What is this here? 1. So tan theta is equal to 1. And who can tell me tan of which angle will give me 1? Let's start from the angle let's start from acute angles first, okay? Let's start from acute angles. Which angle, tan of which angle will give me 1? Who knows that? We did Hamza, please, you have to send a message to me. And Hamza, there is a paid class starting in November, okay? So if you want to have access to the videos, to the recordings, to my lessons, all right, you can register for that paid class. Somebody said I should give you the videos. The videos are always saved up in the live section of my YouTube channel. Once you go there, you see all the videos. We have talked about circle theorems before this one, okay? So that's it. Oh, somebody has really, so tan 45 degrees is equal to 1. Or we can do the tan inverse. The tan inverse of this will give me what? Tan inverse of 1 is what? 45 degrees. So theta is equal to what? 45 degrees. But don't just stop here, because they said find theta between what? Between 0 degrees and what? 360 degrees. All right. Who can tell me where is my tan positive? Where is tan positive? Who can tell me? We just talked about ASTC. Where is tan positive? In the third quadrant, right? Thank you. In the third quadrant. So if tan is positive in this quadrant, what's the formula for getting the reference angle in the third quadrant? It is what? Is it not theta minus what? 180 degrees? Is that not? In the third quadrant. You take away that, you take away 180 degrees from the angle. So here it also means that, see, also theta, okay, let me just make it clear to all of you. Also, from the third quadrant, okay, which is this one, see here, theta minus 180 degrees is equal to what? 45 degrees. Because that is where tan is positive. The first quadrant and the third quadrant. And here's the formula for getting the reference angle, right? So if you equate this to this, all you have to do, move negative 180 to the right-hand side, or you just add 180 to both sides. So here, theta is equal to 45 degrees plus 180 degrees. And when you add this to, you get what? 225 degrees. So this angle and this angle, this one here, let me just highlight it. So theta is 45 degrees and theta is also what? 225 degrees. Hope that's okay. Yes. Makes sense. If you understood what I've just done, type 1 in the comments. Type 1 in the comments. If this is clear, type 1. Why are we not liking the live? What's happening? Please, let's support this live by liking it. Thank you for those of you who have liked already. Please, let's all like the live. Thank you. Thank you, Jaco. Yes, thank you. Please, let's like the live. Thank you, Vishnu, for the feedback. Thank you, Dash. Thank you, Minyasoka. Okay, Kayode, thank you for the feedback. And Aswa, thank you. Thank you, Jacoland. Yes, thank you, all of you, for your feedback. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. Yes. Can we move on? Can we move on? Yeah. Hope I can. You can take a screenshot if I need to move on. We have to take a yes. Thank you, Johnson, for the feedback. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Vianney. Thank you. Please so. Yes, thank you, all of you. Can I take this off? Can I do that? I think I can. Okay. Beautiful. So we have another question. This is the second example, and we have that the tangent of 135 degrees has a value of what? Let me just leave space for that one. You can go ahead and start doing that. You can do that, okay? Evaluate cos 60 degrees plus sine 60 degrees, no, sine 30 degrees over sine 150 degrees. Okay. Yeah. Can we do this? So for number 2, who knows? If you know the answer, drop it in the comments. Thank you, Formless. Thank you so much. Oh, you are reminding me to do my math. How? Because we are doing the trigo unit. Oh, thank you. Yeah, if you have gotten the answer to this one, please let's give a like. Yes, thank you, Kayode. Thank you. Please, I need all of you to support. We have not even gotten up to 100 likes since. Please let us like the live. Thank you. We are close to 200 on this live stream. Please let's like the live. Thank you. Thank you, I met heart. Thank you. So who has done this one? Where does the see? Before you get me the answer here, you must know the quadrant that it lies. You must know the quadrant, and that's the first thing. The second thing is tan negative or positive in that quadrant. If it is not positive, please, your answer will be a negative value. So 135 degrees, where does it lie? First, it can be first, obviously. Second or third? Where? Second, right? Is it second? Anybody? Thank you. Somebody said -1. Yes, it falls in the second quadrant. And what's that formula there in the second quadrant? Is what? 180 degrees minus what? Is it 180 degrees? Who is there to answer? Anybody? What's the formula? Yes, Jacob, what's the formula for the angle in the second quadrant? What's the formula? So tan theta, which is tan 135 degrees, okay, 135 degrees will be equal to what? This is in the second quadrant, and tan is negative. The only trig function that is positive is sine. So you have minus tan what? In bracket, you have what? 180 degrees minus 135 degrees. I'm trying to get the reference angle. All right. Okay, so tan 135 degrees is equal to minus tan what? If you do the difference, you get what? 45 degrees. And what is tan 45 degrees? For those of you that joined the last class we had on this topic, tan 45 degrees is a special angle, and tan of 45 degrees is 1. So your final answer is going to be what? -1. So this is the final answer. Okay? Yes, thank you for the feedback. Yes, thanks to all of you. Yeah. Ahmed Ali is not for. Okay, yeah, but you have to put a negative sign there because tan is negative in the second quadrant. Please take note of that. Tan is negative in the second quadrant. Yes. Okay. Oh, I like what somebody said. He said cos 60 is brain training. He said cos 60 is sin 30. That's correct. And they're both equal to 1/2. We said that in the last lesson. Very good. So the third one is going to be what? What is cos 60 1 over 2 is a special angle. They are all, see, 60 degrees is in the first quadrant, so they are all positive, sine, cos, and tan. This 30 degrees is the first quadrant, 60 first quadrant. But whether it's negative or positive, they are all positive. So cos 60 is what? Is what? 1 over 2. Because cos 60 and sine 30 are the same value you will get. Plus what? 1 over 2. All divided by. But what about sine 150 degrees? 150 degrees is in the second quadrant. And like we said, sine is positive. ASTC. ASTC. First sine is positive in the second quadrant. So you are going to have sine. The formula is what? 180 degrees minus theta, minus the angle. So in bracket, I'm going to write 180 degrees minus 150 degrees. Okay? So this is going to be equal to what? 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2 is 1. So you have 1 over. And this is sine 30 degrees. What's 30? 1 over 2. So that's 1 over 2 here. Here you have 1 divided by 1 over 2, which is equal to 1 times. When you change 1 over 2, because you are changing division to times, you inverse this, okay? And then you have what? Can I have your answer? Who is giving me the answer? Thank you, Jack. Oh, 1 times 2. You can just write 1 over 1 here if you like, but the answer is just 2. Any question? Yes, the answer is 2. Thank you, Helena. The answer is 2. Please, we are not up to 100 likes here. What's happening? Let's support this live. If you have not liked the live, please, let's like it. We're not up to 100. Please, let's like the live. Oh, cos 60. No. It's sine 30. It's sine 30. Yeah. Not sine 60, it's sine 30. Please, let's like the live. Thank you all for your support. Yeah, thank you, Innovative. Yes, thank you. So we've done that. Okay, now we have another very interesting question. And I think we have to do this together, okay? If you're taking a screenshot, please do so. I want to take this off. And if you have any question, ask. Oh, we're almost at 100 likes. Thanks to all of you for your support. Thanks to all of you. I'm so grateful. Okay, let me take this off now. Yeah. Now we are on to example 4. Here's the 4th example. Are you ready for this? So if sine theta is equal to minus 1 over 2 and 0 degrees. Now you have to be very careful with this one. Find theta. Yes, look at this question. This is a negative sign here. So we're told that if sine, if sine theta is equal to a negative 1 over 2 and theta lies between 0 degrees and 2, you must look at this condition. It's very important you look at this. See, very, very important. I'm even trying to highlight it for you now. Theta lies between 0 degrees and 270 degrees. Okay, your answer should be between 0 and 270. Don't exceed 270. Find theta. I'm going to give you 1 minute to try. So 2 key things here. The range of the angle. The angle lies between 0 degrees and 270 degrees. And again, sine theta is what? Negative 1 over 2. Let me say it again. Sine theta is what? Negative 1 over 2. Yeah, go ahead and work that out. Who is going to do that? Who is going to do that? Do that. $210 degrees. Okay, next, how did he get that answer? We're almost at the 210 degrees. How did he get 210 degrees? How? Is anybody trying to explain to me how that is? So look at this. This is negative 1 over 2. Let's try to get the sine inverse of 1 over 2. What would that give me? What is the sine inverse of 1 over 2? That's what? Who can tell me? Yes, thank you. It lies towards the third quadrant. That's correct. Yes, yes. It's what? It's 30 degrees. Okay. So, see, first of all, let's get the angle first. The sine inverse of 1 over 2. You know what? Let's disregard this negative sign first. The sine inverse of 1 over 2 is 30 degrees. I'm going to say, but sine is negative in the third quadrant. Now, we're not going to bother ourselves with what? Fourth quadrant. Sine is also negative in the fourth quadrant. But you know why we'll not bother with the fourth quadrant? The range of the angle is between 0 degrees and 270 degrees. So there's no room for the fourth. We would have gotten the angle also that it will be in the fourth quadrant. But we can't do that because the angle lies between 0 degrees and 270 degrees. Does that make sense? So it's going to lie, we're going to focus where sine is negative, and that will be the third quadrant because of this condition. What's that formula again? Theta minus 180 degrees. That's the reference angle. So the reference angle is what? Theta minus 180 degrees. And that's equal to what? 30 degrees. Okay? So the reference angle, no, this is not the reference angle, sorry. I meant the angle in the quadrant, the angle in the third quadrant, okay? That'll be what? If you move this over, you're going to have what? You're going to have, or let me just write theta here. You're going to have 180 degrees plus 30 degrees, which is what? Let me just take this off. So that's what? 210 degrees, okay? So this is the angle that will be in the third quadrant. So theta is 210 degrees. Now I'm writing this 3 here, trying to indicate that it is in the third quadrant, okay? That's why I'm writing this subscript 3, indicating that it is in the third quadrant. Any question? Okay. Very good. Very good. Why did we do theta minus 180 degrees? Okay, it seems you just came. That's the formula for getting the, see, quickly I'll just do this. See, for the first quadrant, all right, they are all positive. For the second quadrant, only sine is positive, and that is what? 180 degrees minus theta. For the third quadrant, it is what? Theta minus 180 degrees. For the fourth quadrant, it is 360 degrees minus theta. So this is what we use, not always, what am I saying? This is what we use. This is where the formula is. For third, 180 minus theta. For third, theta minus 180. For the fourth quadrant, 360 minus theta. Okay? Okay, guys, I have to go. But before I go, I'm going to give you just one question to try out. Just one question for you all to try. Don't worry, it's going to be very easy. Yeah, you can take a screenshot if you want to do that. Thank you, Priam, for the feedback. Thank you. Where did the negative of half go? I thought you will add it to find the sine inverse. We found the sine inverse. See, we found the sine inverse. So for the negative sign here, now, okay, good. For the negative sign here, I said, but sine is what? Negative. See, but sine is negative. Because of this minus, we'll go and look for the quadrant where sine is negative. We will not have bothered with this. See what I have here. Sine, because of this minus sign, you look for the quadrant where sine is negative. It's negative in the third quadrant and in the fourth quadrant. But because they said this angle must lie between 0 degrees and 270, don't exceed 270 degrees. So that's why we had to get this angle that lies in the third quadrant. And this is the formula, theta minus 180 degrees. You take this over, you have to add, which gives us what? 210 degrees. I hope I was able to answer your question. Okay, very good. So one more question and that'll be all for today. Tomorrow by 9 p.m. we'll be live again. But it's good you get the update as it's coming, as fast as it's coming to the group. That's why you must join my WhatsApp community. That's why you must join my Telegram channel. It's all on my bio. Just click the link on my bio. The channels are there. Once you click the link, it takes you to where you can join that. You want to join the Telegram channel or the WhatsApp channel. It's all there, okay? And again, my paid class is starting in November. It's going to run from November up until April next year for 6 months, and we're going to be covering core math topics for those of you preparing for your final exams, even those in junior schools and primary schools. It's going to cover all those. I mean, there will be 3 classes: one for primary school, those in elementary school, one for junior school, and then one for senior school. Okay, starting in November. But if you decide to join the class now, there's a heavy discount currently ongoing. If the class starts, when the class starts in November, it's going to be almost ×2 of what you are paying now. That's why you must quickly head on to my bio and send me a message so we can get you signed up. Okay. All right. Let's move on. So, one example, one more. It's going to be an exercise. Okay. Yeah. It's going to be an exercise. So, yeah, it's going to be easy. Okay. Yes, exactly. Trick can be tricky. Exactly. Jack, you are very right. You see, that's why I didn't just jump into telling you, first quadrant, all the trig functions are possible. You have to understand the core. You have to understand what it is when they say an angle is lying in the second quadrant. You must know how to even sketch it as well. That's why I went through all of that to explain things in detail. All right. And again, there's something I even left out. I should have even explained why sine is positive in a certain quadrant, why tan is positive, why cos is negative or positive. I should have explained that as well. But I don't want it to be too long, and some people might just find that not interesting. Okay. Yes. Some people might not find it interesting. Do you just do trig or other topic? I do all the topics for. Okay, we're going to be covering those core topics like probability, algebra, statistics, geometry, all those core topics. It will all be covered in the paid class. Yeah, when it's starting in November. Okay, it's going to start in November. So here's something for you all to play with. Here's an exercise, and I'm going to write it here on the board. Without using tables, find the value of sine 120 degrees. Without using tables, find the size. Is this size? Find the value, yeah, of 120 sine 120 degrees. Sorry. And the second one is which of this is equivalent to which of these is equivalent to what? To tan 300 degrees. So we have options here actually. For option A, we have tan 60 degrees. For option B, we have minus. I should just make this, let it be consistent for all of them. For this is what? Minus tan 60 degrees. For C, it is sine 60 degrees. And for D, finally, is minus cos 60 degrees. Okay, I'm waiting for your answers. For the first one, let me have your answer. For the second one, let me have your answer. Okay, who's going first? Time finals are just around the corner, but let's keep going. Okay. Sex chore. No, I'm not live every day. I'm not live every day. I'm usually live from Thursdays. That's Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. But I was live on Monday. Yes, I was live on Monday. Yes, and yes, I was live on Monday. I had to do a class because there was a class I skipped last week, so I had to cover that on Monday. Okay. And for those of you that are just joining, if this is your first time you are joining this live stream, we have finished the topic on circle theorems. Where is the topic? It's saved up in the live on my live playlist. Just go to my YouTube channel. There's a live playlist there. Yes, okay. There's a live playlist for the topic on circle theorems. We covered all those the circle theorems were all covered, and we had so many questions that we dealt with. So if you are still struggling with circle theorems, go to my live playlist. We have about 7 lessons there, 7 videos, and you're really going to enjoy those lessons. So if you miss those lessons, go there. And if you're interested in joining my paid class, you can. I will encourage you to pay now so you enjoy the discount currently ongoing. For number 1, can I have your answer? Everybody, number 1, what did you get? Number 1, what did you get? Okay. Option B. Yes, let's start with number 1 first. Sorry, I was just talking. I didn't even check the comment. For number 1, what did we get? Option B. For number 1, what did we get? What is the answer? This 120 degrees is where? In the second quadrant. 120 degrees is in second quadrant. And for that, sine is positive, right? In the second quadrant. So since sine is positive, sine 120 degrees is going to be what? Sine. You now get the reference angle. If you don't know what that is, as soon as this live ends, go back and you will understand what I mean reference angle. So you simply do what? 180 degrees minus 120 degrees. And that's what? Sine. What is this minus this? That's 60 degrees. No, sorry. Yes, 60 degrees. 60 degrees. Am I correct? Yes, I am. So what's sine 60 degrees? I got all the questions right. Oh, thank you, Jack. So good for the feedback. Yes. Epic. Thank you for coming back. Thank you. Good evening. Thank you. So what is sine 60 degrees? We talked about special angles, the sine, the cos, the tan of special angle. If you missed the first class, this is the second lesson we are having on trigonometry. Again, it's still on the live playlist. Go there, you see the first lesson and 7 lessons on circle theorems. Go there and watch those videos. They are really going to, let me use the word bless you. They are really going to bless you. Yes, root 3 over 2. Yes, sine 60 is equal to what? Root 3 over 2. Let me just write it here. Root 3 over 2. Okay? Awesome, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people. Thank you all for your engagement. It's so good to have all of you. Yeah, Jonathan. Yes, root 3 over 2. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Priam. Yes, root 3 over 2. Okay, if you are wondering how did it come about the root 3 over 2, go and watch the first lesson on trigonometry. This is the second lesson we have. I got you. Okay, we are done with number 1. What about number 2? Number 2. Look at the options. Is it A, B, C, or D? If type the correct option in the comments. Is it A, B, C, or D? Yes, the formula is very important. Exactly. The formula is very, very important for the second quadrant. Yes, it is B, right? Shivanshu, yes. Priam, yes, that's correct. It is option B. And why is it B? Who wants to tell me why is it B? Why is it this one? Why is it B? Anybody? Let's know those who said B because other people said B. Yes, 360 degrees minus theta. In the third quadrant, it is 360 degrees minus theta. Sorry, it's in the, where are we? Yes, for the fourth quadrant, I mean the fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, it is 360 degrees minus theta. And tan is negative in the fourth quadrant. ASTC. Cos is positive, tan is negative in the fourth quadrant. So it's going to be what? Tan, what now? 300 degrees is going to be what? Minus, because tan is negative in the fourth quadrant, minus what? Tan into bracket what? 360 degrees. Using this formula, see the formula here for the fourth quadrant. Minus, the angle is what? 300 degrees. That's minus tan. When you take the difference, you get what? 60 degrees. And that's the answer to number 2. Yeah, but I have integration lecture pending, but I'm still enjoying here. Thank you, Shivanshu. Thank you for the feedback. What's up? Can I? What's up? What's up? Can I find you? Okay. If you want to see, if you want to send me a direct message, you want to reach out to me on WhatsApp. Go to my bio on my. I think it's called the description on this YouTube page. Go there. There's a link there for you to reach out to me directly on WhatsApp or join my free class, my group on WhatsApp, my math group on Telegram. But if you want to pay for the paid class coming in November, there's a heavy discount going on now. It is just $28, guys, for 6 months. It's a kill. It's very cheap. It's just $28. Yes, I made it so cheap so more people can afford it and be on the program. Okay. If the free class is like this, you just imagine how the paid class is going to be. So if you struggle with core topics like probability, trigonometry, algebra, statistics, numbers and numeration, and those other key topics, you need to sign up for the paid class starting in November. But registration is already ongoing. And if when you pay now, you pay with a heavy discount that's currently on. Okay, so we're going to continue tomorrow. I want to join the class. Okay, it's fine. You can go to my bio and there's a link that will take you to the class, or there's a link that will take you to sign up. But you have to reach out to me and then you sign up for the class. Okay, then for the payment details, we'll figure that out when you reach out to me. Okay, every one of you, it's so good to have all of you right here. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing much more complex questions than what we have here. But for today's lesson, I have to build the foundation on those quadrants and where to locate the angle. Is it the first, second, third, and what it is when they say tan is negative in this quadrant or cos is positive in the other quadrant. You need to know all these things. When you hear terminal line, you should know what that is. Okay, when you hear reference angle, you should know what that is. It's very, very important you get used to the how will I say it now? Those key terms. Okay. Oh my God. NEVG. What's that? Jack wrong. What's in your WhatsApp, sir? Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. Do not expect to be watching a math lesson at 13 years. At almost 12. Almost noon. Almost midnight. Innovative. Thank you for staying through to this time. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone, it's been good being here, and thanks for your support. Thanks for always showing up. See, we have almost 100 people. Even at the point we got over 200 people live joining, supporting, liking, engaging. And I'm always very grateful if you keep engaging, keep sharing the live, so more people can join us whenever we come live. So again, tomorrow we're coming live by 9 p.m. But there might be a slight change, maybe in the time, but it's usually 9 p.m. But if you want to be sure when I'm going to come live, join my community on Telegram and on WhatsApp. If you have any question, you can ask. If you don't have any question, I think I have to take a bow. What time does the live start? It's 9 p.m. Please, it is West Africa time. It might not be the same with your own time in your country. It's WAT, West Africa time, 9 p.m. You can just Google it and see the difference between West Africa time, 9 p.m. and your own time in your country. You should be able to get that done, okay? Shivanshu, what time I just said it, 9 p.m. George, 9 p.m. West Africa time, 9 p.m. what? Okay, no problem. Yeah, thank you, Ihoma. Ihoma. George, where are you from? Which country are you from? If you don't mind, you can just put your country where you are streaming from. You can just put it in the comments. I want to know. Okay, yes, Joseph. Why did you say it's 10:37 p.m.? Okay, Joseph, are you in Nigeria? India, focusing. Never, you don't even get the question you're asking yourself. Okay, so everyone, you can just type the country where I have to even know where you are streaming from. Me, I'm streaming from Nigeria. I am streaming from Nigeria. So what about you? Vanessa, Ghana. Okay, good. Who else? Who else? Priyam said India. Okay. I think your name kind of gave you away. It's also easy to tell that you're from Ghana. Watching from Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, thank you, Huma. Okay. Natasha, South Africa. Joseph, Nigeria. Um, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's from Sweden. Wow, Conrad. Good to have you. Good to have you. Kai Ranga, Desire. Thank you. Hi to you too. Okay, if you don't mind, you can just put the country where you're streaming from. I just want to know the sphere of influence. Let's give each other questions. And if you come to the group, you might have that opportunity for such interaction and collaboration. Okay, okay. Thank you, Conrad. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. If you don't mind, you can just put the country where you're streaming from. So I get to know the people joining us live. Okay. Okay. Shivanshu. Okay, you know what? Can you keep okay, can you ask the question and we'll treat it tomorrow? Because I really have to go. Ask the question. We'll answer it tomorrow. Joseph, thank you. Adebayo. Are you from Nigeria? When I say are you from Nigeria, I mean, are you currently living in Nigeria? Because I know you're from Nigeria. Yes, Chukwemeka. Yeah, Kedu. Welcome again. Chukwemeka is very regular. Don't worry. You are going to get. Maybe I'll make you the class prefect. I'll make you the class prefect, Chukwemeka. Yes, I'll make you the class prefect. Okay, guys, it's so good to have all of you here. I'll see you all tomorrow by 9 p.m. West Africa time. Stay good and be the best always. See you tomorrow, Priam. Yes. NevG, see you all tomorrow. Thank you, all of you. Bye bye.